All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
That Simon Ekpa has finally denounced Biafra. Is it true that Simon Ekpa has finally denounced Biafra? And when I asked them where they got that from, they said there has been a viral video that has become super, super viral, you know, uh, that claimed and they insisted that Simon Ekpa has finally denounced Biafra. In fact, the audio came, it was put as a breaking news. Simon Ekpa has finally denounced Biafra. And these callers, possibly who are ardent, listeners to my audio, wanted me to confirm, to, verify and to validate that claim that Simon Ekpa has finally uh, denounced Biafra. Of course, it came to me as a very, very big surprise. I was highly flabbergasted because, of course, that had never crossed any of my discussions with, high-ranking Biafran officials that I know. I mean, it came to me as a monumental shock and surprise that, Simon Ekpa has finally denounced Biafra could be such a very, very, viral topic at that point in time. And so I made, contacts with my associates, including those in Finland and even in United States. I asked them to please confirm to me if indeed Simon Ekpa, our, indefatigable prime minister, our highly cerebral, gentleman prime minister, has finally capitulated to the zoo. Has he been forced out of Biafra? Has he been intimidated out of Biafra? Has he, for any reason, been settled out of Biafra? Those were the questions people called to ask me. This was the remarks people made to me. And so I started making contacts. I called a whole lot of people who are in a position to know. Like I said, we have some contacts in Leti, Finland. We have contacts all over Europe and the Americas. And we really wanted to know if this was true. Yes, a whole lot of people told me that Simon Ekpa has not been happy. Yes, he has not been happy with the way and manner a whole lot of things have been happening in the Biafran world, especially as regards people's very very poor attitude to everything Biafra, everything liberation struggle, everything about the USB. Yes, somebody told me that Simon Ekpa has always complained about the apathy, about the seeming disinterest of a whole lot of Igbos and Biafrans on the affairs of Biafra. In fact, the source told me Simon Ekpa has really complained vigorously about, what he called a deliberate, seemingly deliberate effort orchestrated by fellow Biafrans to shut down Biafra, to, you know, seem to completely derail the Biafran struggle. And of course, the source again said, Simon said it hurts him that even while under interrogation, even while under trial, it hurts him that a lot of people have not reached out to him, have not in any way, because he watches videos, he still listens to audios and all that. He has the way of listening to these things. And he said it hurt him that very few Biafrans are interested in what has happened, you know, to the redeclared United States of Biafra, what has happened, in the ongoing process to make Biafra, the United States of Biafra, very visible all over the world. He said it hurt him that he sees his Biafran brothers, his kids and kins all over the place, junketing, catching fun, having a fiesta, as if nothing is happening. I mean, they are dancing with the zoo, dancing, you know, dancing and celebrating with those who are oppressing them, those who are marginalizing them. And Simon Ekpa said it hurts him really deeply that people, Biafrans, can be celebrating, can be having fun fair, can continue, to gyrate to rhythms produced in the zoo, when of course there are people are endangered species in Nigeria. When of course Igbo people, Biafran people have been marginalized on a daily basis. When of course these people are overtaxed, when his people are prevented from getting choice employments, when his people are prevented, from enjoying the dividends of the so-called democracy in Nigeria. He said it hurt him that a whole lot of people, a whole lot of Biafrans are playing the ostrich. Ostrich in the sense that they see, they have monumental problems, monumental, difficulties ahead of them, deliberately placed by, you know, the people who don't want them in Nigeria. I mean, everywhere you go, the Biafrans are an endangered species, but of course, they are acting like it is normal, like the ostrich when faced with enemies, when faced with potential danger. Rather than fight back, rather than flee, the ostrich will bury his head in the sand, burying his head under the sand, hoping that the danger will pass it by. But unfortunately, you're burying your little head into the sand, but your gigantic body is exposed, and you become an easy victim for the monster or the danger that is chasing you. He said, this is the way Biafrans have begun to act. This is the way Biafrans have continued to behave. And he's wondering, he wondered out loud. Simon Ekpa wondered out loud why it is like his people have developed, Biafrans have developed, this generation have developed amnesia, a sort of, complete amnesia of what happened to their uncles, to their grandfathers, to their fathers, their mothers, to their aunties, and to their sisters. I mean, are these people aware of the pogrom after the 1966 coup? Are these people aware that over close to 5 million Biafrans died in a war, in a war that could have been avoided, in a very avoidable war that they termed the Biafran Civil War, where the Biafrans were forced to defend themselves in a needless war, in an unprovoked war, where they were made victims. There seemed to have been a pronouncement of a total genocide on the Biafran people, because every arsenal of government, every security apparatus of the government, every bombardment of the government was unleashed, viciously unleashed on the southeast, on the Biafrans, with the hope to continually, with the intention and the goal to completely exterminate them. I mean, you see, wondered if these people remembered that, of course, there was a time when children died from kwashoko. I mean, they were malnourished, they didn't have access to food, protein, they didn't have access to good nutrition, they didn't have access to medicines. And of course, a whole lot of them died. First of all, the, of course, displaying the characteristics of kwashoko, a massive head on a tiny body. You could count rib cages on the bodies of these children. Not 10, not 20, not 1,000, but children running to millions. What of adults that were sick and unhealthy? And of course, they could not have access, to Medicare, because of course there was blockade in the air. The Nigerian government had ensured that no plane flew across the air to give, much needed aid to Biafra land. Of course, even the Red Cross were forbidden. The Red Crosses were forbidden. The missionaries were forbidden to bring much needed help and succor, medicines to the southeast, to Biafra land. What of the seas? Of course, there was blockade in the sea. Ships were not allowed to move from anywhere into Biafra land. They were cordoned off so that people lived in abject poverty and lack. People had no access to medicines, to good nutrition, or to much needed international, aids. Ladies and gentlemen, Samanekwa was embittered by the fact that most most of this generation, this current generation, didn't seem to be interested in the history of what happened, what caused, and what affected the Biafrans. They seem not to know why there has become, in recent times, a resurgence in the clamor for, a liberated, a sovereign national entity of United States of Biafra. So he said he has become very, very unhappy about this, and it has affected his mind, it has affected his soul, it has demotivated him in a large measure. And so when I heard all this, I was really, my heart was completely, completely, you know, uh, uh, very, very unhappy because, of course, I wondered if Simon Ekpa was actually giving up. Was he giving up the struggle? Was he feeling abandoned all through his trials? Was he feeling like nobody cares? Was he feeling like the Biafrans had forgotten him, had betrayed him? But of course, we know he has been betrayed. We know, of course, that it was his kith and kin, his fellow associates, his own brothers and sisters that betrayed him. We know it was his brothers who were giving information to the Finnish authorities. We know it was his kith and kin who were telling the Finnish authorities where and how to get him. We know, of course, all his problems and programs, especially within that period when he was organizing the convention in Leti, Finland, where he wanted to redeclare United States of Biafra, which he had scheduled to take place on the 2nd December 2024. I mean, it was somebody, his own kith and kin, somebody who's so close to him that betrayed this to the Finnish authorities. It was these same people who told them where he was having his different conferences, world-class conventions, where they were trying to determine the way forward for Biafra, when they were trying to determine the methodology, the modus operandi of the new United States of Biafra. This was what Simon Ekpa was planning. This was what they were about to do within the months of December, especially December 2nd, 2024. But unfortunately, within November, especially between November 20th, 19th, 20th, and 21st, he was arrested because somebody somewhere betrayed him. Some people gave out his uh, programs, gave out every information about him, and the Finnish authorities grabbed him and arrested him. And that has been the unfortunate tale, the unfortunate tale of his arrest and detention and subsequent trial to date. So of course Simon has every reason to be unhappy. He has every reason to be unhappy. Again, another source told me that someone Ekpa has been frustrated from having communications with his mentor, our own Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi. Of course, you will recall that it seemed at one point in time when the last ever discussions he had about or with his mentor Simon, Onyendu Nnamdi was when uh, the lawyers representing Nnamdi, especially Chief Aloysius Ejimako, reached out to Simon Ekpa sometime late last year, and they told him Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi has instructed that he completely stopped this so-called sit at home at all. Yes, the lawyers representing Mazi Nnamdi told Simon Ekpa, look, Nnamdi said, Simon, stop this. Stay at home on Mondays. Seize it. Let it cease forthwith. I don't like it. I don't like it. Leave people to go out on Mondays and do their business. Let people go out on Mondays and go and fend for themselves. Stop this sit at home on Mondays. This is a command. This is how I want it. Uh, We don't want the liberation of Biafra. We don't want the struggle for Biafra, and the emancipation of Biafra to have this kind of unfortunate consequence where people are killed, where people are maimed, where people are attacked because they try to do their businesses on a Monday after, of course, the weekend rest of Saturday and Sunday. But of course, Simon Ekpa said, because he replied to those who brought that message, he told them bluntly and clearly, listen, I have heard all you people are saying, telling me that my own mentor, my Onyendu Mazen Namdekanu, has insisted and has warned and told me, instructed that I seize the stay at home order on Mondays. Yes, I've heard it, but guess what? Guess what? I will not stop. That stay at home Monday has come to stay. We will not stop it. I will make sure it continues. Yes, we have to show those people in that zoo called Nigeria that Biafrans only listen to one voice, and that voice is to the Biafra regional government in exile. We have to prove to the powers that be, those who claim it is their turn to rule, those who claim it is my turn, Emilio Con, those who said they are born to rule. I want them to know that Biafrans only listen to one voice, and that voice is the Biafra regional government in exile, headed by myself. Yes, as the Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. Yes, and guess what? Let me tell you. Tell Mazen Namdekanu, if he is actually the one who said this, tell him I will not do it, except on these two conditions. One, Mazen Namdekanu must come to Finland here. He must come to Finland here and talk to me one on one, face to face, bone to bone. I need to talk to him. I need to touch him and say, Onyandum, my mentor, are you the one who says, is this you? Thank God you're alive. Thank God you're healthy. Thank God you're free. Onyandum, my master, are you the one who said we should stop this? But you know why we put it in place? We put it in place, of course, for them to know that we are working. We put in place to remind our brothers and sisters in the southeast, in Biafra land, that there's only one government, only one voice they should listen to, only one command. And that command is Biafra regional government in exile. My master, Onyendo, but I'll do this for you, sir. When I meet you one on one, when we sit together one on one, and you tell me, stop this, Simon, seize it right now, I will make the broadcast, I will make the video, I will make the audio, and tell our people in the southeast, tell our people in Biafra land, henceforth, movement declared for Monday. Go and do your businesses. My master is here. Biafra. Biafra has achieved his release and freedom. Biafra is free until I meet him flesh to flesh, blood to blood, until I meet him one on one. I will not retract and I will not give such command because the Biafra regional government has insisted Mondays must be sit at home day to recognize all the people, all the martyrs, to recognize all the sufferings of the Biafran people. Yes, we must let the world know. We must articulate our views, all the problems, all the plights of the Igbo people, of the Biafran people to the world. And that sit at home is the only means, the political means to enforce it and to let the people know. Let the zoo know. Let Nigeria know that we are not happy, that we were part and parcel of the amalgamation of this country in 1914 by Lord Lugard. And then even at independence, our people, our fellow Biafrans, our nationalists fought and struggled, even to death, for the liberation of this country. And now they treat us like tea bags, that when you finish boiling, you take all the juice, and nutrients from it, and you throw it away. No, we will not be like the ladder that was used to climb to success and then pushed away into oblivion. No, my master. No, my dear mentor. I would not uh, stop, cease, or give the command for a cessation of Sit at home on Mondays until I see you one on one, until I meet you flesh to flesh, blood to blood. We will sit together, we will hug ourselves, we will shake our hands, and we will both declare Monday no longer sit at home. Yeah, so the source was saying that Simon Ekpa felt that probably because of that response, probably because he didn't call off that sit-at-home order, ever since then, Onyendo Mazen Namdekanu has not reached out to him, has seemed to, because of the people surrounding him, most of whom, of course, do not like him. You know, a whole lot of them, according to him, does not like him. Yes, Mazen Namdek, of course, our own uh, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa said it pained him that members of IPOB who don't like him, those who spread false news about him, those who said he has a personal and private agenda different from what Mazen Namdekano, instilled in him. All those who have, spread false narratives, declaring him a person non grata in Biafra and Biafra land. All of them, those of them who are in IPOP, those of them who surround Onyendo, Mazen Namdekano, have continued, to spread all manner of lies, all manners of, you know, uh, plots against him, all, all with intention to continue to give Mazen Namdekano the impression that he, Simon Ekpa, had rebelled on him. But of course, Simon Ekpa equally, according to very close sources that are directly with him in Finland, have told everybody, including the lawyers, of Mazoyan Dekanu, that look, I remain loyal, I'm steadfast, I'm committed to the respect and love I have for Mazi Onyendo Namdekanu. He's my leader. He's the one who passed the baton to me, and I will never, never disappoint him. As far as I'm concerned, I'll keep moving forward. I'll keep fighting forward, even to the last breath that I have in me. I don't know why people continue to orchestrate all manners of lies and you know uh, dissensions between me and my mentor and leader. I have tried to assure him. Unfortunately, I can't have one-on-one with him because, of course, the people that surround him, the people that are all over him, do not like me, and they prefer and they continue, to spread all manner of lies, blackmailing me, singing me, putting me as a betrayer, and even trying to forge all manners of atrocities against my person. He said, please, I have immense respect and regard. I'm completely loyal to Nnamdi Kanu. It hurts me that he is equally in trial as I am in trial. But I know that it's just a matter of time. The God of Biafra, the God of Biafra would arise, and all the enemies of Biafra will scatter. All the enemies of Biafra will scatter. Yes. So finally, a very good contact, a close ally of Simon Ekpa in Finland, told me, and some of my friends and associates who are fellow Biafrans, who are those of us in this team who talk about Biafra every day, who dream about Biafra every day, who breathe Biafra every day, who spread Biafra every day. The man told us he has told Simon Ekpa directly that a whole lot of people are saying he has finally denounced Biafra. Guess what? Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Guess what? Simon Ekpa, in very clear and simple language, told everyone, so go and tell them, whoever is saying that Simon Ekpa has finally denounced Biafra is not only insane, but is totally a bloody liar. As far as I'm concerned, Biafra is in my blood. Biafra is in my DNA. I've gone too deep into Biafra and the struggle for Biafra. I've done so much and I've pursued it so vigorously to step back. I cannot go back anymore. The struggle is my life. The struggle for the success, full success of the redeclared sovereign United States of Biafra is in my life. I have sacrificed everything for it. I have sacrificed family for it. I have sacrificed position for it. I have sacrificed my life for it. I have sacrificed my safety for it. I have sacrificed my freedom for it. My freedom, my family, my well being. There can never be any going back.